Season 5, brought to you by Adventure Cave Tours. Live a day in the life of a real adventurer with Adventure Cave Tours. And the Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
And here we are on Tuesday. Man, we're in August already. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
It is hard to believe. That means school's starting back really soon.
Man, we're getting toward the end of the year already. You got to start thinking about Christmas and stuff. End of the year.
My niece keeps posting stuff about fall, about pumpkin spice lattes.
That's the worst.
I know. Listen, I told her I was going to block her.
Block her and don't tell me about it because I don't want to hear anything about fall. I'm enjoying summer, as you can tell.
Chloe, you heard it. You're blocked. You're done. It's over. All right. We will begin with some news. A man who was wanted is finally behind bars. Multiple agencies worked together to track down James Cruz after 3 days on the run, kind of all over the Ozarks, Texas County, Greene County, you name it. He's actually wanted in 20 different cases in multiple jurisdictions. Greene County deputies picked him up near Lake Springfield, and he is now jailed on a $50,000 bond. Now to this, a warrant is out for a man from California. Authorities say that he was driving the boat on Lake of the Ozarks that we told you about last week that ran aground off the water and into a house at the lake. And apparently he was drunk. So he's been charged. 8 people were injured in that. And police say Adam Ramirez admitted that he had been drinking.
Man, that could have been 8 people could have been killed on that boat. That's crazy. Crazy. It is another day of cleaning up trees, day 2 for chainsaws around the Ozarks. Multiple homes and businesses damaged by the big storm in Springfield and Greene and Christian counties. Wind speeds got up to 60 and 75 miles per hour, which is nuts. The storm also knocked off, I don't know if you saw this, the church steeple at Hopedale Baptist Church in Ozarks, which is right by Lambert's there. Utility crews have been busy. They've been really working hard to get power back on. But tens of thousands of people were without power, some for days now, as the crews work to get the power back on. And the heat is not making any of it any easier.
Yeah.
Because it's brutal. It's relentless.
I also feel bad. The homes obviously are hard, but businesses who would have to throw out so much food,
Yeah.
And individuals too, but like for a business, you think of like the thousands of dollars. Ugh, I hate it for them.
Well, and you're closed while you're not making any money while you're losing it.
Right.
But for people who are stuck at home all day, it's been rough for sure. So I hope they've been able to get to a library or a store or the mall, just somewhere where it's cool. I know overnight that's a tougher deal. Then there's this you may have heard about. 99-year-old trucking company headquartered in Kansas City is shutting down completely, putting 30,000 people out of work. Think about that number for just a second. 30,000 people without jobs. Yellow Corp has halted its operations, laying off all 30,000 employees. The company had been in negotiations with 22,000 union workers that are on staff. The workers threatened to go on strike, then they canceled the strike. It's expected the company will file for bankruptcy, but that is no good. 100-year-old company.
Wow.
Gone.
Wow. This is interesting. Beware if you drink alcohol, even in moderation. Apparently, the latest study shows that regularly drinking alcohol, even in small amounts, raises blood pressure. Researchers looked at 19,000 adults over 24 years, all over the world, in all different parts of the world. And they found that even less than a drink a day produced a small rise in systolic pressure and raised the lower or diastolic blood pressure reading in people. Interesting.
This is one of those where it seems like every other year you hear a study that says the exact opposite of what it said last time or what another study has said in the past. What's interesting to me about this is that it's 19,000 people over a 24-year period. That seems pretty in depth.
Right.
That's a lot of data to pour through and then to find trends. So that, that's more than like 600 people who we watched for 18 months.
Yeah.
It seems different.
But there's still so many different trains of thought. Like we were talking about the Alzheimer's one recently. And then after your side was hurting and we were like looking up all the things on like, what could this be? Could this be diverticulitis or whatever the singular plural form of that is? Anyway, there's so many different schools of thought on what you should eat or shouldn't eat, or whether you should be on fiber or have no fiber, or like, sometimes coffee's good for you. Other times it's really bad for you. I don't know.
Well, not the problem. A
lot of people over a long period of time. However, it's still always seemingly on these types of matters inconclusive, because you can find the exact opposite study probably.
Yeah. And just in general throughout time, scientists and doctors, and they're all the smartest people in the room. So you believe what they say. But more often than not, they're found to be incorrect in just diverticulitis, for example. I just was talking to somebody about that tonight, a doctor, gastroenterologist, who said that, we used to think that popcorn and nuts caused it, and you couldn't eat any of those. But that isn't, we don't believe that anymore. That's no longer true. So, it's
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what made me think of this. It was your conversation.
Yeah.
It's just a funny, well, anyway.
I think anytime you're hearing from anybody, they should have a grain of, this is what we think right now, but we may not know it exactly. And in 50 years from now, some guy who's wearing my white coat is going to say something completely different, and he'll probably be more right than we are now. You know what I mean? Just be humble. Yep. we don't know. Let's just agree that we don't know it all right now.
Right. Okay. If you are like us, perhaps you know a lot of people who've moved to Missouri for retirement. I do feel like we've met a lot of those people for some reason. It makes a lot of sense. Cost of living here is relatively low, although inflation is being felt here as it is elsewhere across the country. Bankrate just did a survey and came up with a list of best states to retire in, and Missouri, drum roll please, ranked in at number 4. And I feel like that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
50.
Pretty good. 4 out of 50 ain't bad. Iowa was number 1. I don't know why, but that surprised me. I don't know.
See that?
Yeah.
Just north of us.
There you go. Iowa's number 1, followed by Delaware, West Virginia, Missouri, and then Mississippi. The worst
my guess would have been that they would have all been in the Midwest or South. So I'm a little surprised by Delaware and West Virginia.
Yeah. I'm
not surprised by the worst states.
For some reason, I wish they would have put Tennessee on there. I could see myself living in the Smoky Mountains.
Well, everybody's living in the Smoky Mountains now. That's the problem.
Having to buy bear spray. I could see bear spray in my future. A normal thing on my grocery list. I could see that.
Literally everyone has moved to Nashville, so that's thrown that whole thing off.
I don't want to live in Nashville. I want to live in the Smoky Mountains. The worst state, by the way, to retire in is Alaska. Why?
We were just there.
Everything's, I don't know.
Yeah, you got to ship everything there. Everything's expensive up there because it's hard to come by. But the other states are not a surprise at all.
Alaska, New York, California, Washington, and Massachusetts.
I mean, the taxes, the crime, all of the mess that goes along with those states, they're falling apart. They're falling apart. Back here in the good old Ozarks, tonight is National Night Out. That's an annual event to increase partnerships between neighborhoods and law enforcement. We've covered a lot of these over our years in media. We've been to lots of national nights out.
I feel like I've been to a lot. You just sat in your comfortable climate-controlled desk. And am I wrong?
I introduced you at a national night out.
Thank you, sir.
More than once, I've introduced you at a national night out. But I'm part of the story as well. So we've covered it together. Springfield police officers, firefighters, park rangers, and more will be hanging out with community members tonight from 4 to 7 p.m. at Metter Pool. So if you need a place to cool down, that's a good spot. Swimming is $1 to get in and swim, or free with a donation of any canned good. So there you go. From 4 to 7, there will be games, including pickleball, which is all the rage.
It's even on ESPN. Pickleball. We're not that great. Which is no surprise. I'm not great at tennis. What makes me think I would be good at pickleball, you know? Okay. Now to this. Around the Ozarks has your chance to win a family 4-pack of super passes to the 87th annual Ozark Empire Fair, going on right now through this coming Saturday, August 5th. Some of the events that you might want to take note of: on Thursday, you can go see the O'Reilly Night of Destruction.
Sounds fun.
And I added, by the way, that's a car demolition, because I feel like it just said O'Reilly Night of Destruction. And I'm like, well,
anything goes.
Anything goes, just destroy it. And then Friday and Saturday, it is the Bull Riding Nationals, which is exciting.
Wow. That's fun.
Exciting if you've not been.
That's similar to the Night of Destruction.
Yeah, no doubt. Watch out for that. So yeah, good times out at the fair. Little heat to go along with it, but there's nothing a corn dog can't fix.
That's true. Big old mug of root beer.
Yeah. Yes, and root beer mugs. I forgot. I hate root beer, actually. Hate is the accurate word for it. I know you think that that's a strong word, but it makes me have a gag reflex. That's a true story. Sometimes Mr. Foreheads enjoys ordering a root beer from like Sonic or something like that, putting a lid on it, not telling me what he ordered, knowing that I'm not going to order a pop. And then I take a drink of his and almost vomit, and he thinks it's hilarious.
That is pretty funny. You should ask before you take a drink of my stuff. I'm trying to teach you a lesson.
Just one drink. That's it. Just one.
Well, fair warning.
He's actually done that to me more than once on purpose, because he would prefer even a Coke or a Dr. Pepper himself, but he orders a root beer for the sake of the joke, and it's not funny.
You can't prove that.
I know it to be true.
You can't prove it.
And also, with all the rain we've had, you guys need to know that sometimes when it's pouring down rain and I go to get in the car, he doesn't come and open the door for me. He actually locks me out in the rain, and I'm trying to get into the car, and I'm like shaking the door handle, and he's like,
so I don't think that's ever happened.
That's happened on multiple occasions. He thinks it's hilarious. He's a 13-year-old trapped in a 50-year-old's body. All right. But it is funny. It is hard to be mad at him because he's so darn funny.
Oh, I thought you were going to say cute.
Nope. You still look like a raccoon. Someday you're going to be cute again.
It's better though. I had to shoot a video at work today. So for the first time since being out of news, I put on makeup today.
He got up yesterday morning and he was like, I have a video shoot today. And I was like, no big deal. It's like red, really red right here. And then white. Anyway.
Red here and here, but not so
much right here. Anybody? Tommy Boy. If you didn't know that, you're missing out on life. And I'm sorry for that.
Great movie.
All right. For those in Branson, this is for you. The Branson Farmers Market of the Ozarks is tonight from 3 to 7 on Branson Landing Boulevard. So good times. Go shop farm fresh goodness, handcrafted products, and local eateries all in one location. There you go. Tonight, 3 to 7.
Fun. Who doesn't love a good farmer's market?
I do. I love also walking through a farmer's market with the kids. It's just fun.
Yep. I enjoy it as well.
I had a Facebook memory pop up. I was laughing because, I had a garden one time. It was awful, but I attempted a garden one time, and I take them to the farmer's market sometimes and walk them through and let them know that our food source is not Walmart, but rather are these farmers that are at the market. Well, I had a Facebook memory pop up yesterday. My friend Debbie brought us a watermelon from West Plains, and this was years ago, but we cut it in half to eat it, and it was super tasty. And Griffin was like, "What are these?" And it was seeds, because he had only ever eaten seedless watermelon. So I felt like
this is nature, boy.
My Mother of the Year award, like I had to throw it away in the trash because he didn't know that watermelons actually have seeds.
It's all genetically modified.
I got a big kick out of it.
That's kid's living his best life. He's never eaten a watermelon with a seed.
I know. Anyway, ridiculous. All right. That's all we got, folks.
All right.
Watch out for storms. Still lots of limbs.
Well, we got a lot of rain last night. People got all kinds of rain. The weather's been nuts lately. We like a couple of weekends ago, right after 4th of July, in our neighborhood, we got 5 inches of rain in less than 2 hours. It was insanity. Got a lot of rain in a lot of places last night. The storms have been super strong, knocking down trees and power lines. It seems odd. I don't know.
Yeah. I have a friend who took a tree to the house, like into the house in Ozark. That was in Ozark.
Anyway. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Don't forget, you can check out Abby Dyer's Wake Up Weather wherever you get this podcast. So check it out. She'll set you up for the day.
Okay. Have a good one.
See you tomorrow.